Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Sim and Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up.
Welcome back to today's episode of Listen Up with Sim and Isha. We are so excited because we're talking all about love this February, but not the kind of easy 90s rom-com love, the actual love, the difficult
Actual
love,
love.
which exists, which we all struggle with, but we all want to find. So today we're talking all about attachment styles and love languages. This is something which I didn't discover till like later in my life. What about you, Isha?
Same, I think I discovered it very late myself. But since I've discovered it, I've started recognizing with those patterns a lot. And then every time I meet someone, I talk to someone, I try to recognize what their patterns are as well. एक बार I think you have this knowledge in your head, it becomes very easy कि सामने वाले को समझने में थोड़ी help मिल जाती है. It's just that part. On that note, Simran, let's start with us first because we are also friends. What is your love language?
I think my love languages, which we have discussed before, is number one is gifts, I think, because I grew up
yeah.
with that. My father and mother, my father used to work 24/7, my mom was a housewife. So their way of showing love to me was always whatever you want, like this is you get. Like, so gift. Like whenever I was given a gift, I thought, oh, I was loved because my dad was not the best communicator on earth of love, like all Indian dads, or most Indian, I won't say all, most Indian dads. So I feel like for me, gifting became like a huge love language because that made me feel that I'm loved. And the second thing is also, I would say whenever somebody puts in the effort, so acts of service, when somebody does something for me, which going out of the way for me, I think these are two big love languages for me because I do it constantly for other people. So when I see somebody else do it for me, I think that is when, without having to ask if somebody does something, that is, oh my God. Yeah,
Ooh,
that is
I
it.
can feel that. Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Yeah, what about you, Isha?
You know what? Before I tell you my love languages, why don't we tell the five first? So
Okay.
usually, like in theory, they're the first five love languages, right? So you
Yeah.
mentioned two. You mentioned acts of service, and you mentioned gifting.
Yeah.
Then I think there's physical touch. There's words of affirmation. What's the fifth one? Quality time. Yes.
Quality time.
Quality
Yeah.
time. Yeah. I always I always forget the one. Yeah. So quality time. I think for me, words have the biggest power in my life. Always have been like that. So I'm very attracted to words and conversation, I think. So when I have a very nice conversation with someone for the first time, like I come back and I think about that conversation, that's like attractive to me. So that words of affirmation. And again, if I'm not having a good day and the person understands what she needs to hear, I'll be done for. Like, oh, you don't need to give me gift, I'm done for that. And I think after that, I think it would be quality time. Like, if somebody's planning, I think acts of service quality time को थोड़ा सा एक mix हो जाता है कहीं पे. If somebody's planning a date, like without me asking, or planning a day together, making an effort कि दोनों की schedules manage करके we do something together. So that is kind of the thing that I like.
That's cute.
Yeah,
That's really nice. Yeah.
And not just relationships, सिमरन, दोस्ती में भी, मतलब friends के साथ भी, like अगर मैं अपनी best friend के साथ भी बाहर जा रही हूँ, I know her love language very well now. And I know, like, if I'm going out with her, I'll do these small things that will make her day brighter. Now, she's a gift person again. And I know the things she loves. If I'm going to a restaurant, I'll order her favorite drink. I'll order her favorite food for her. So, like, that is the small things that I like doing for her.
Aw, that's so cute. And I think like that's like one of the things I used to make this mistake where I used to think that someone will automatically understand my love language, where I used to be like, so I used to be, whether it's friendships or even my parents or relationships, where somebody used to do something and I don't think that was love because that's not how I like to receive love. But I never thought it was important to actually teach somebody how to love me or, treat me right. I thought everybody should know because, everybody should know that this is how love is. But then I realized that everybody's love language is different. And not just you need to understand their love language and they need to understand yours. And that's how it's going to make something work,
Yeah.
Like I had a partner. Yeah.
Exactly. You have a love language for receiving, and as an individual, you also have a giving love language. You also like to do these things for someone.
Exactly.
More than receive.
Very well said. So, like, for example, I clearly remember in one of my relationships in the past where I love getting gifts. So, I used to give gifts because I used to think that, oh, that makes the other person happy. And for the other person, that didn't really matter. Like, they didn't even care if I gave him a gift or not. And he would prefer that quality time and spending time together, planning dates, going out. That was his way of love. Like if I would remove time from my schedule and plan something, I used to be like, you know what, I'll just give him this gift and he'll be happy. And then we used to fight because we didn't understand each other's languages. And then that's when like we both have to understand that this is working or not, and how to make
that
it
reminded me of something. That reminded me of something I read actually. So sometimes especially when it comes to love, very often we do this. We express love in the way we actually want to receive it. That's our way of communicating, not just to the people around, but to the universe as well. Like, I wish somebody would have done that for me, karke. I would do the same thing for somebody. That's a way of telling the person. And if the other person is observant enough, तो वो पकड़ लेंगे और वो
But people are not mind readers, and this is something, especially as women, we need to remember: men are not mind readers at all. So getting that one person who's very observant and will go out of your way to see what you like is actually rare. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist or it's a right or a wrong thing, but I feel like we also need to learn to communicate our needs. We get upset because we build up these expectations in our head, and when they're not met, we get upset. And the other person is not even aware why are you upset? Because you didn't communicate that I want this, or like this is how I like things, and we can't presume somebody will just know how to love us.
And I think in this age and time, I think now we can at least जिस age में हम लोगों को मिल रहे हैं, everybody is matured. Everybody has a way of and already has their love language in place, because सबके साथ life में उन्होंने experience किया होगा. So one of the first few conversations, if I think it can be like a tip also, like first few conversations, even if the guy is not initiating, the girls can take the charge and just initiate this conversation, because that will help you and the other person, both of you to evolve this relationship better.
One of the things I love, which I've learned, which I'll share, is like, for example, in relationships, I used to do this where I used to get upset or angry when I didn't get what I wanted and I expected the other person to deliver it. So I used to be like, I want you to do this. I want this. Can you please do this? And it used to sound more like a, like a, not a command, but like kind of like the other person used to be like, oh, am I not doing enough? Or, oh shit, I need to, they would feel the burden of me having to be like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing, how we sometimes nag, our partner.
Yeah.
So I learned that instead of saying that, do this, do that, when they actually do something right for you, use this, that you tell them that, oh, I love how you got me flowers yesterday. It really made my day. I really appreciate you when you do that. I think that is how I feel loved. So thank you for doing that. So and this is how, especially I feel with guys, it works. If you tell them what you're doing wrong, they'll only look at wrong. But if you tell them that, oh, you did this right, I promise you he's going to do the same thing again and again, because he thinks that is the way to love you, So instead of like pushing them to do something, show them when they are doing things right. So then they will repeat that action again and again, and you are not a nag either.
Oh, that's so good. So good. I think that's such a good tip for anybody who's listening. Why not? Yeah, that's very positive. I think it keeps the conversation also very positive.
Yeah.
No, everybody wants to be appreciated for the efforts they've done for you. I think that's very nice. That's a beautiful way to convey कि यार ये मुझे अच्छा लगता है, ये करते रहो.
Exactly. Instead of being like, we start relationships and we're going on dates. Like I used to do this. I used to be like, yeah, he did this, he did that. My ex was like this, my ex was like that. I was constantly showing the other person how badly I was treated by other people, by other men in my life. So that guy thought that, oh, okay, she's okay with that kind of treatment. Why don't we say, you know what, yeah, I know I've got that. Oh yeah, I've gone there for a date. Or, oh yeah, I used to get gifts all the time. This also shows that the other person has to match up what, you're doing.
Yeah. Even my best friend told me this. She said, you tell, like if you meet someone for the first time, you show it to them that you've always been treated in some certain way. So
Exactly.
they'll know that that is like something you like being treated as. They'll understand in their head, and then they'll make a own version of it, and then they do it for you. And I think that's a very nice step again.
Yeah.
That's
so,
a good. I think we are giving so much gyan today to everybody.
yeah, a
Like
lot
we are
of
some experts,
interesting
but that's
things.
not. But
Not
I think
at
this
all.
is just our experience. This is just our
Yeah.
experience with love,
We know
friendship.
little
and-
bit more since we've made it all the way to 30, but yeah, but I would
Yeah.
say like it's good to discuss these things because sometimes nobody ever told me this when I was younger, you know.
Yeah,
So
I
somebody
know.
out there listening to this might apply it and try it for themselves, you know, and save themselves a
Of
lot of
course.
pain and crying
I hope
and
so.
sleepless
I
nights.
really hope so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the attachment styles while we're at it. So I think love languages is one way of expressing, but attachment style is जो हम लोग personality का एक trait बन जाता है for an individual, and life के experiences, आपने childhood में कैसा love experience किया है, how you've grown with whatever trauma you've had, everything I think it forms an attachment style for you. So I think the most sorted and the Amazon green forest attachment style is the secure one. And then I think it's anxious, there's avoidant, and then there's disorganized, which is very less people, but like a combination of anxious and avoidant together. That's the disorganized. A little fearful, it becomes a little fearful. So, what is do you know your attachment styles, Erin?
Okay, first thing I would love to admit guiltily is that I didn't even know my attachment. There was something like attachment styles till like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, and that's quite late, okay? Because I've been dating since I was
Yeah.
at least 18 years old, and I never heard of the fact of attachment style. And recently, also, I would say, and I've mentioned this before, I'm reading this book called Attached, which is all about attachment styles. So, if you're somebody who's trying to navigate relationships, or understand yourself, I highly recommend going and picking up this book. It's really, really nice. But for me, I feel like I have been the anxious and I have been the avoidant. And so I won't say I'm one type of style. I think I've been one and the other in different relationships. And
I think that's
yeah. What about you? Like what?
I think that's how it
Yeah.
is. I think similar. I think my
Yeah.
experience with love has also been this. I've been anxious with people. I think I respond. My energy responds to the other person's energy. So if another person is very, very secure, then I'll also turn towards, because मुझे ऐसे feel होता है, even with love languages, even with attachment styles, हम सबके अंदर there's every bit of it. अगर 5 love languages मैंने बोली हैं, हम सब में थोड़ी थोड़ी हर चीज़ है. हर सामने वाले की एनर्जी देखकर हम उस चीज को रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
अटैचमेंट स्टाइल्स भी ऐसे ही हैं. I think I can be, if I'm with a very secure person, but personally थोड़ा सा I am a little on the anxious side.
Yeah.
So the anxious side will come out, but I'm with a super anxious person, then I'll start becoming the secure one.
Yeah.
I'll be the one calming the person down. I think though it keeps switching, but yeah, anxious is what I think I am. Anxious is basically, convey करने से पहले 2-3 बार सोचना and like overthink बहुत करना, like that is my
The
personality.
overthinker, the emotionally intelligent, the person who's constantly wanting to talk and communicate and give
Exactly.
and do and love, and everything is basically going as much overboard as possible and being there for the other person. So constantly wanting to communicate and be there and love too much, more than the other person wants, is basically anxiously attached, where you're constantly
Anxious, yeah.
And I've been that as well, so I know completely, because I have the biggest tendency of being like that. And the avoidant, which I've also been, which is the person who likes to take space. They are the people who like to take their time. They don't want to rush into anything. They detach easily when they think that their emotions are overwhelming, or the other person's, the anxious person's emotions are overwhelming them. Instead of
Overwhelming, yes.
communicating, they go into their shell, and they feel that no matter what they do, they're not good enough for the anxious, because the anxious is always complaining that you're not listening to me, you're not loving me the way I want to love, or like, why are we not, so it's, for me, the avoidant is somebody who grew up or had some things which made them in a way that they feel it's better to shut down rather than be vulnerable, so they choose to shut down.
Oh wow, so well put.
Is what I feel.
I think Simran, you've put it in a very good way. Avoidant personality. मेरे में भी थोड़े से traits हैं, मैं ऐसे नहीं बोलूँगी, but only then जब मैं बहुत ज़्यादा अपने thoughts से anxious हो जाती हूँ और मुझे space चाहिए होती है. Avoidant is basically जो communicate किए बिना space ले लेगा कई बारी, that person. And I try not to be. मतलब I try to at least text. I try to at least tell the person कि यार I'm having a bad day or I'm just not in the best headspace. So that वो and I use that metaphor a lot. Energy. I don't have the energy today. मेरे कप में आज उतनी energy नहीं है कि मैं आपसे बात कर पाऊँ. And but then I do make a point to go back the other day and talk about it. Talk to the person if you needed me. Like if a friend has also, reached out and I'm not in the space, avoidant worry. So rather than avoiding, I would just tell them I'm not in the best headspace, but I'll get back to you. So that is what I've tried to come, how I deal with it.
I completely agree that like it's all about learning more about yourself and learning about the other person as well.
I know, exactly.
Because in a relationships, that's where attachment styles are really pushed to the wall, and you really have to figure that is it matching or not, is it on the same level or not. And I feel like there's a lot of negative messaging where people are always like, first of all, avoidant is given the tag to a man usually,
Yes.
which I don't think
That's
I don't
true.
think attachment style has gender. I think like it is every different thing. So I don't agree with that completely. Second, people are constantly hating on the avoidant that, whatever happens, don't be in a relationship with the avoidant man, or like don't get in, like, and I don't think that one is better than the other. You need to understand that yes, it's going to be difficult if you are anxious and you're with the avoidant person. 100% it's going to be difficult, but you need to learn that in any relationships it's going to be difficult.
Yes.
And it takes two people to decide to make it work.
Yes.
I have been in relationships in the past where I've had a very good relationship with someone, but because of other reasons it didn't work, and it was mutual that we ended it. But he was avoidant and I was anxious in that
Dynamic,
relationship.
yeah.
And it took us a lot of time, but he was willing to do the work and I was also willing to do the work to understand each other. And I was at that point, I read something which really stuck with me, because as an anxious, I find it very hard to control my emotions, and like, I give, and if I don't get that love back from the avoidant, I start getting more insecure. It brought out really different sides to me. And the quote said something like, listen, first thing you need to understand is that it's not anybody's job to handle your emotions.
Yes.
They are your emotions. So you need to first handle them. And then it's not anybody else's responsibility to come and fix you. You have to learn to manage them. And the other person only comes in to support you with that. And yes, the other person, the avoidant, also has to learn to do that, But
or at least be
getting
the one
over
to
emotion-
understand कि you are going through this. At least इतना कर सकते हैं हम लोग सामने वाले के लिए.
Exactly.
Because and
Exactly.
as individuals, मेरे को ये लगता है कि अपने attachment styles, अपनी love languages के बारे में aware होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Because then you know how to handle it and not just convey to the other person. But अगर कुछ situations में आपकी expectation है कि वो मुझे संभाले, अगर आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो, तो पहले आपको तो पता होना चाहिए ना आप कैसे संभालने वाले हो. आपको पता ही नहीं आप संभाल
कि we are going on this trip, हम इतना कर रहे, हम रो रहे, ये कर रहे, वो कर, but do you understand what you're going
what
through?
you want?
Why are you getting in this space?
Yes.
Hold your horses, learn to control and manage. I'm sitting here like this whole poised person giving all this gyan. I've been that person who has bursted out in drama, yelled unnecessarily. I have begged people to stay. I've tried to cry and convince somebody to see my worth. I've done these things. So I know that when I'm sitting here and talking, it's not because I'm holier than or we are holier than anyone.
No way.
It's just because it's better to learn this.
Because we've learned that उस side पर nothing is happening, nothing is solving. You just need to understand.
Exactly.
And then eventually हमें खुद ही समझना पड़ा था अपने टाइम पर. खुद ही समझना पड़ा था, खुद ही अपने आप को संभालना पड़ा था. And again, I think going back to the last episode, referencing that also, you understand yourself first. And then only then you can actually understand the relationship and the person.
You are the highest priority of your life. Never forget that. No matter who you marry, the most beautiful, richest man on earth, no matter which family you go to, no matter what happens in your life, you are always going to be the only person who you need to put first.
Yes.
And then
definitely.
It's your husband, your family, your kids. Because if I've seen my mom suffer and I've seen many other women suffer, it's only because they put everybody else before them. And that's why it's so important that no matter what your attachment style, love language, like you said, but put yourself
Self first. Yes.
Yeah, always.
Wow, I think this has been a very informational and very relatable episode in that sense. I hope everybody who is listening to us, before we end this, I hope you guys comment in the, drop in the comments what your love language is. We would love to read what you think your love language is, what your attachment style is. And if there is something you've not, heard before, read about it. It's available online. You can, even where I understood, Google pe jaake search karo love language, you will know what I'm talking about. And try to recognize what you like and how you like to be loved. It'll help you and the partner.
Yeah. Absolutely. Until then, keep listening. We're going to have more episodes on for you this February. So yeah, listen up and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Sim and Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.